Welcome to the very first episode of my brand new podcast, The Breakfast Table. And today we have a very exciting video for you today. Now, here's how these podcasts are going to work. Basically, it's going to be the same as Random Robbie. On Monday, there will be a Random Robbie video. On Wednesday, there will be a Random Robbie video. On Saturday, there will be a Random Robbie Rejoices video. On Sunday, there will be a Random Robbie Rejoices video. And the next week, there will be a podcast on Monday, podcast on Wednesday, and it goes so back and so forth with Random Robbie and the podcast. But in today's podcast video, we have an exciting topic. I've been asking a lot of my friends. I was emailing some the other day. I still got tons more to email to get responses from. But I wanted to ask my fans, what kind of videos do you want for a podcast video? Sorry about that. There's a lot of snow outside and the plows are plowing by. But anyways, guys, um, in today's podcast video, we got an exciting video for y'all today. And I'm going to try to email a lot of my friends to get ideas. And I think I already have a plan. We have a plan for today's video, and then we have a plan for Wednesday's video in 2 days. But we're going to get some more topics. And again, if you guys would like to send in an idea, send me an email, supermariogamer83@gmail.com. Again, supermariogamer83@gmail.com. So you can send me an email there if you have an idea, or you can just type in the comment section anywhere and just say, hey, Random Robbie, I have a video idea for your next podcast. But today, I'm going to shout out this person in this video podcast before we get started. I want to give a big shout out to my friend, Liam Duel, who was in 3 of my YouTube shorts, and more actually, because he participated in the Dude Perfect Hero World Tour video, and he was also in 3 videos of one titled Gotta Go Christian, where we were singing a Christian song together, trying the McDonald's cookie for the first time, and Sugar on My Tongue trend, which was kind of weird. But anyways, I emailed him, said, hey, out of these ideas, which I have, because I didn't want to choose anything. I wanted to give them choices because I don't want to give random stuff, and I might do that afterward. But for now, I have some ideas brainstormed, and I said, which one would you like? And he said I would like to do the gas station one. And so in today's video of the breakfast table, we are going to be talking about gas stations. Now I got a few things up on my computer here, so I'll have to be switching tabs, but I'll still keep this camera up and running to record as we talk about different gas stations and what my preferences are. So, without further ado, first episode of the breakfast table, let's get started. Now, first of all, gas stations are really great. You get to go on a joyride, you get to have a midnight snack, and maybe even mix every kind of Slurpee together. But I watch these YouTubers. One of them is Tonio Guajardo. One of them is FaZe Rug, which I bet a lot of you know. And one is called Addie Bowley. And my personal favorite is probably Addie Bowley because he is a YouTuber who does midnight gas stations after midnight to see which one is the best. And so I'm going to be talking about some of those today to let you guys know what my preferences are. And the thing about gas stations, which I absolutely love, is that they are so unique. Because you walk in, they have music playing in the backgrounds, the bathrooms are most likely clean and sanitized. There's so many different snacks, and my personal favorite is you walk into a gas station and there's no telling what you'll find in a gas station. Sometimes you'll find a YouTuber product that you've always wanted to try for the first time, or you'll find some other discontinued product, or you'll find this up on the top shelf of some random rare item that you've never seen that was discontinued for a long time. But today we're going to be going through some gas stations that are like that. And if I pull up my little chart here real quick, yes, our first gas station we are going to talk about, we have good old 7-Eleven. Now, if you don't know what 7-Eleven is, probably a lot of you do, and probably there's no one watching this video that doesn't. But if you don't know what 7-Eleven is, 7-Eleven is one of the gas station chains, very, very popular around many states of the world. But here are my impressions of 7-Eleven. So basically, what I think about 7-Eleven is I like that it's a medium-sized store. You walk in, there's lots of snacks to choose from, drinks, they have all these refrigerators. And I especially like the 7-Elevens that have big selections of drinks and stuff. Because some gas stations that I go to barely have any selections for drinks whatsoever. And what's nice about it is you get to go in and you get to see all these varieties of different drinks to choose from. And sometimes you can't choose, and you're like, what drink do I want to do? But then you see one that you've never tried and you're like, you know what, let me try that. Or if you're an older person, for example, like Addie Bowley, and especially this one YouTuber that I watch, Tonio Guajardo, he says that he likes to get childhood snacks. So when he was my age, 15 years old, he would go to gas stations and he would always get a Reese's peanut butter bar because that was his absolute favorite. And having that after years of never having Reese's for like a long time, it was pretty special. So, I think 7-Eleven is really great. I wish that they had sometimes more like drinks, and maybe the 7-Elevens you go to don't really have like, a lot of they do have a lot of choices for drinks, but in my opinion, I feel like they don't, and they kind of want to like, I want like stuff that are actually stocked, new drinks that are coming out from like YouTubers and stuff. Different varieties of like apple juice, orange juice, chocolate milk, white milk, and then that's all that. The other thing that I like about 7-Eleven, but I feel like more places have it than 7-Eleven, is they need to have some sort of like hot drink disposal place. So you can't just have like a cold drink refrigerator and that's excuse me. You want to have something that has like a hot drink. So for example, hot chocolate, tea, coffee, any sort of thing to like, it's hot, if you know what I mean. So for me, I'm a hot chocolate guy, and I am a fan for hot chocolate. And excuse me, but I'm a fan for hot chocolate. And the thing you want to know about me is that I'll take anything hot when it's cold outside, and when anything it's cold outside, well, basically when it's cold outside, I want something hot. When it's hot outside, I want something cold. But I don't feel like the 7-Elevens around here really have that. Like, they might have a little coffee dispenser or something, but I wish they always had like a little nozzle pump where you could pump the hot chocolate, and like, like a little like marshmallow dish, and maybe like there's some like whipped cream you can spread in there, and it's just so nice to be able to see that. I love hot chocolate. And here's the thing. I don't know about you guys, but for my hot chocolate, I cannot, all caps, cannot stand hot chocolate with water. It is absolutely disgusting. It doesn't taste like hot chocolate. It just tastes like burnt water. Nah, I need to have milk in mine. Milk and hot chocolate. So here's how I make my hot chocolate at home. So basically, first, I get the mug, I pour the milk in first, I heat it for 2 minutes, then I open up the hot chocolate pack, pour it in, and then let it cool down and drink it. And I've heard of some people doing it where they open up, put the packet in first, then they put the milk on top, heat it, and stir it. But then you don't really get enough stir. If you put the milk in first, then when you put in the powder, you can kind of dissolve it in. Whether the powder's all at the bottom and the milk kind of covers it, it doesn't like stir it enough. So those are my impressions on 7-Eleven. Some things that could be improved, some things I like about it. And the snacks there are absolutely insane. So I'll try any new product. For drinks, I don't really do like carbonated drinks. I'm not really a fan of that kind of stuff. Diet Coke, Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, Fanta, Mountain Dew. Not really a fan of those. Root beer, not really a fan. But I'll take anything like, any type of new apple juice I haven't had before that has like actually real apples in it. I'll take maybe like I've never had a protein shake actually. I want to try one of those like banana and apple fruit things like Pro Force or something, whatever it's called. And definitely chocolate milk. Actually, funny thing is that some chocolate milks that I have, uh, sometimes they're better and sometimes they're not. So I think at gas stations though, the chocolate milks are absolutely fire because I love them so much. But some of the gas stations that I've gone to, they've had like not that rich flavor text, but they have more of like I feel like there's like chocolate milk with like a rich soft taste, and then there's chocolate milk with just like a little too much chocolate, a little not too much chocolate, maybe a little dark chocolate mixed into there, and I'm not really a fan of those. So those are my impressions for 7-Eleven. Write down in the comments if you think you agree with me and if you don't. But I'm going to pull up our next gas station here, recommended by Addie Bowley. And yeah. And the one thing here that I like about 7-Eleven is that the restaurant that Addie went to had different flavors of coffee. So, for example, they had the pumpkin spice latte, they have the regular hot chocolate, they have the caramel macchiato, and the birthday cake cappuccino. And I've never had a macchiato or a cappuccino, but I really want to try it because it's absolutely insane. So if we move on here to our next gas station here, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the second gas station of our podcast. We have Shell. Now, this one might be a little bit rare to you because you're like, wait, there's a gas station called Shell. And it's literally the sign. Like 7-Eleven will be like the red, green, and whatever colors and everything. Shell, though, is a gas station that has the sign and it has a big picture of just like a seashell on it. And this is one of the rarer gas stations. I definitely found some in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has a few shells I've never been to, and my goal is to try to like visit all kinds of gas stations, maybe do a video of gas stations after midnight to find out which ones are the best. But Shell, what's interesting about them is I feel like Shell has more options than 7-Eleven. So for instance, they'll have a better stash of like stuff, different rare foods that you've never seen before, maybe some childhood snacks that you thought never existed, but like they did. Cause like, say if you liked goldfish, but then you find these like graham cracker ones that are like still goldfish, and you're like, I haven't seen these since I was a kid. They have more stacks of stuff, is what I think personally. And another thing about Shell is that they actually have the hot chocolate and hot drink dispensary. I don't know why 7-Eleven doesn't seem to have that, but put in the comments if you know a 7-Eleven that has that. But the one thing I like about Shell is that it has different varieties of stuff. Same thing for drinks. You go into the fridges and you see protein shakes, you see protein chocolate milks, you see maybe some different like carbonated products, and you see some energy drinks like Monster and Ghost, and those things are really good to have, but they have a lot of sugar in them. So sometimes you got to be careful when picking your protein stuff because we want to stay healthy, guys. I'm just saying. But Shell, great, great gas station. I've always wanted to go there. Seems like lots of employees that work at Shell are nice. I feel like all gas stations, there are some people that are really nice. But sometimes, if they're working the late shift, night shift, they might not be as nice. They're kind of grouchy, they're hangry, they want to go home, but they've been working so hard. So I want to give a shout out to all gas station workers. If there's anybody watching this video that knows personally a gas station worker, or if you're watching and you like know a friend who works at a gas station, please give them my regards because they're absolutely insane. And those are my impressions on Shell. But anyways, we're going to move on here. And oh, and one more thing about for Shell is I feel like 7-Eleven and other like main gas stations and stuff won't have this. But what I'm really excited about to try at gas stations is their sandwiches. I never knew that gas stations had sandwiches. I was always just like, wait, gas stations have sandwiches? And then not just sandwiches, they have like full on made subs with like turkey, lettuce, and tomato and onion, and they're so good. And I thought you could just get them at sub shops. But no, they're these little things. And like probably the cheapest one I saw was like $3.29 for like a sandwich or like a little breakfast sub. And I was just like, you know what? If I wanted something healthy, I wouldn't have to like go and spend a lot of money at like Wegman subs or like Subway subs. You can just get a cheap one for cheap price at a gas station if you're going on a long trip and you just need a little something to munch on. Isn't that cool? So those are my impressions on Shell. But now, if we move forward on my computer here, our next gas station, which also again might surprise a lot of people because I feel like this gas station chain is very, very rare. And there's not any where I live. I don't feel like there's any in New York, but in other states, I think I might have seen one in Pennsylvania when I went. Maybe one in Pittsburgh and a few other states, but I feel like you might not know it. But, anyways, to our third gas station, Cumberland Farms. Now, when I first watched this Addie Bowley video, I was like, that's a gas station? I never knew that Cumberland Farms existed. And I was like, what does Cumberland mean? And why Cumberland Farms? Like, is that someone's last name, like Mr. Cumberland or something? But it's Cumberland Farms. Who knows? But, anyways, Cumberland Farms. I feel like this one has some, like, problems. Now, in the Addie Valley video, um, which I'm pretty sure I don't want to like keep switching tabs and everything to like waste the video time and everything. Excuse me. My mouth is really dry. I haven't had anything to drink today. I decided to film this video and then get some snacks and drinks afterwards. But oh well, we have to finish the video now. Anyways, Cumberland Farms has a few problems. Sometimes I feel like, and I haven't been to one, but out of people's experiences, I did some research on people on Reddit who've like been to like Cumberland Farms and stuff, and they always seem to be out of the worst amount of products. They're always out of hot products. They never have any hot dogs, any like calzones. I had a calzone yesterday. It was amazing. And all the hot foods, pizza, hot dogs, you name it, chicken nuggets, whatever. They also seem to be out of all the sorts of like sandwiches and stuff. Like, there might just be like a bar that has sandwiches and stuff, but like I feel like they don't really have a lot of options. The only thing they have is they don't really usually seem to have like any like turkey subs or ham subs. They always seem to have like roast beef subs, and that's it. And stuff that like people maybe wouldn't like on a sub, like tomatoes, onions, peppers, anything like that. The other thing which is annoying is that, especially I feel like for Cumberland Farms, they are always out of donuts. And you know how there's like you go into a gas station and there's like a rack and it has like different donuts, or there's like two little doors you can open up. You take the little tin foil thing and you just grab a donut and it's like $1.30 for like the cheapest donut. Well, when you go to one of those, there's usually like 10 donuts left. And one of those big cases can probably hold like maybe at least 100 donuts, maybe like 30, 40, 50 or whatever. But there's always like 10 to 20 left. And it's so annoying because the one thing, I've never had a gas station donut because I am a person who's allergic to nuts, and I just don't want to take the risk of like having a donut that like could have like contaminants of like the nuts. But what's always so annoying is that gas station donuts are always so freaking hard. Like, not in anything like inappropriate or anything, but like literally, Addie Bally, he got his donut, and usually they're like soft and chewy, just like a regular donut should be from like Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks or anything. But no, literally every single time he knocks it against the table, it does not make a soft donut sound. It goes dunk, 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 dunk. And I'm like, have these donuts been like sitting out for such a long time? Like I feel like the glass container that they're in should keep them fresh, right? But yet they're so dang hard. And I'm just like, he bit into it, and it's almost crunchy. Donuts are not supposed to be crunchy, dude. They're supposed to be soft and chewy and delicious. I don't get it. Cumberland Farms, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like they have a lot of problems. The drink selections are good. The food selections are good. They have a lot of snacks. What I'm usually looking for at a gas station, though, is any kind of new YouTuber product. If you saw my one of my recent shorts trying Ryan Trahan's Joyride for the first time, man, that was good. So I want to try stuff like from YouTubers. Like I want to try Feastables. I want to try who's the one YouTuber Messi. He made Mas Plus, which is basically a knockoff of Prime. I've always wanted to try Prime by Logan Paul, and I've just never gotten the chance. And I asked my mom about it one time, and she was just like, maybe you can try it when you're older. Because she's just like, I don't want you filling up on sugar and stuff. So that's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. Really, really kind of into that stuff of like, wanting to like try that new stuff. So those are my impressions on Cumberland Farms. I'm sorry if I'm giving it a bad rating, but Cumberland Farms out of 5, I'd probably give it a 3 out of 5. Not gonna lie. Excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. But anyways, those are my ratings for Cumberland Farms. Let's move on to our next gas station. Anyways, um, oh, there's one thing I forgot to add, and I'm skipping through this like video to like get good ideas. The other thing, which gas stations do so well at, especially Cumberland Farms, Shell, 7-Eleven, is their milkshake machines. I feel like a lot of gas stations might not have them, but if you go to like the back of the store, there will be a milkshake machine. And the one thing that I love about that is that literally there's a fridge, little mini fridge. You open it up, you grab the whatever cup of stuff you want, and then you put it into like a little thing. It ascends up. It does all the mixing for you. It comes back down pre-opened, and you could just dip your spoon in and eat it. Like, bro, isn't that insane? Like, that's amazing. Like, you don't have to like do anything. The machine just does it for you, and you can choose your thickness. So if you're a guy who likes your thickness regular, thick, and then thin and stuff, it's just you can choose it easily on a little touchpad screen, and it's just so awesome. But anyways, moving on to our next gas station here. And I see this gas station all the freaking time. Whoops. Hold up. I forgot that even when you pause YouTube videos and keep it on like mute and stuff, it like when you're skipping ahead, it still gives you commercials, so that's kind of annoying. But oh, there's still a commercial. 6 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay. But anyways, this next gas station I see all the time when I go to Pennsylvania to see my grandparents. And we have Speedway. Now, Speedway, I feel like, is very, very common because, unlike Shell and Cumberland Farms, people who are watching this might actually have heard of Speedway. And if you were to ask them different gas stations, have you heard of Cumberland Farms? Probably not. But Speedway, now that is pretty cool. The thing I like about Speedway, though, is because I feel like it's like bigger. I feel like 7-Eleven, Cumberland Farms, Shell are like smaller. I feel like Speedway is one of the bigger gas stations. That's and I'm gonna keep this one short. But I think the thing about Speedway is that it's bigger. It has lots of space. The bathrooms are a lot bigger. It has more stalls for people to use. It has lots of options against sandwich stuff. It has hot stuff. It has hot drinks. It has a lot of interesting snacks. And sometimes for gas stations, they have seating areas like restaurants. And I think about Speedway is that it's really cool that it's bigger. I like the bigger facilities of gas stations. The one thing I like about gas stations sometimes is I like the smallness of them. But for Speedway, I kind of like the bigger open area because there's more places to explore and more aisles to like walk down and see what different snacks you have. So that is Speedway for you. But very very interesting. And basically what's also interesting is because it says Addie Bowley, please don't copyright me, YouTube, for doing this, but Speedway here, I know what a lot of people of you are thinking, that Speedway is basically 7-Eleven. No, you're wrong, okay? And I'm just reading off this YouTube video. But basically, we all know that they're owned by the same company. But here's the thing. These two are very different gas stations. They are not the same. They're not. Now, I will say I'm a little bit sketched out, and it's not really the gas station's fault. I'm kind of just the worst area in the worst area of my city right now. And that is from Addie Bowley. But on the inside, it's just a lot bigger. And again, YouTube, don't copyright me for using that speech from Addie Bowley. But basically, Speedway is 7-Eleven, but just the size is what matters to me. And I think that's pretty cool. Again, as I said, really, really interesting. And the thing about this one was weird. When you went inside, the doors were locked. So you had to go to the intercom, and there's a guy in there who has a basket, and there's like a little window to push the basket. You tell him what you want. He puts it in the basket. You pay through the window, giving him your credit card and everything, and then you can just take your stuff. I don't know why they're locked. Some gas stations, probably have like lock systems or like they don't want people like close early and everything. But that's just kind of weird how you just have to use the intercom because you can't browse yourself. You don't see all the choices. You want to be able to pick something that you actually like. But moving on to the next gas station, and this one is very interesting because, well, let's just say this is another kind of a rare gas station, if you ask me. So I'm going to bring you this gas station. And again, as I said many, many times, another rare gas station. A lot of people will know 7-Eleven, but not much for Shell and the other one that I said, but I forget. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Circle K. Now this one's interesting because if I look at the video here, apparently Addie Bowley knows this really well, but a lot of people might not like this one. And by the look of it in the video, it looks kind of weird because I'm looking at the video here, and it literally has no hot food. The bananas are pretty rotten, and they're out of donuts. But here's the thing that I like about Circle K. They freaking have a place where you can buy lottery tickets. And they have these little games in the background that you can like play. They're like little slot machine things. You just put in a few dollars or so and you can play in the back, and there's like little seats you can sit on. And I think that's so cool how basically a gas station can turn into a freaking arcade. Isn't that insane, guys? Like, you can literally go in, snack on your Cheetos and your Doritos and your Cheez-Its, drink your drink, and play a cool arcade game. How cool is that? That's just freaking awesome, dude. But anyways, I don't have a lot more to say on this one, except that the one other thing that Circle K seems to do really well with is their frozen food section. They have every type of ice cream you can imagine. Chocolate, vanilla, mint, cookies and cream, you name it. It's just so good. And here's the other thing about me. I'm a person with a bad nut allergy, so I try to avoid excuse me. I try to avoid a lot of ice cream flavors, especially hard ice cream, because people with nut allergies, I've seen to heard from my mom that people with nut allergies um can't have hard ice cream, and I feel like a lot of ice cream that they sell at gas stations will be hard ice cream, but sometimes they'll have like a little freezer where they'll have like ice cream sandwiches and like maybe like little popsicles or little things that you suck on and everything. But I feel like that those it's always dang hard ice cream. But like I've always wanted to try gas station ice cream. Like if they did have soft ice cream, is it the actual like version that's like creamy? Or is it actually like an ice cream that's like it like tastes off? Like when you go to like a ice cream shop and it just tastes off. You need that creaminess is what makes the ice cream the best. And I feel like Circle K has an advantage there because they have tons of freezers with ice cream. So if you haven't tried gas station ice cream, I recommend you try it. Excuse me. The other thing I like about Circle K and these gas stations is their frozen food. I think for this one, it's really cool because you don't want to spend $20 on like a big casserole or a pizza, frozen pizza at Wegmans or something. Sometimes you need a little something that you can microwave, especially if you don't own a house yet and you have an apartment like for college and everything. You want to get something cheap from the gas station. Sometimes they'll have like these little pre-packaged things that you can put in the microwave for like 3 minutes and it's like an easy cook kind of thing. And I really like those things because you can easily heat them up. Sometimes gas stations will have a little microwave that you can heat it up yourself to eat there at the gas station. But Addie Bowley in the video, he got us himself a chicken pot pie. And guys, I'm not if I have pot pie at home, I want to eat it all. Like I have to share some with my parents. I have to give them multiple different portions and I'll maybe like get like 2 or 3 pieces a day or whatever. Probably not that much, but like some. But here you can buy multiple for cheap. So you can maybe get like 2 pot pies for like a total of like $5 or like $10 or whatever. And then you can easily heat them up in the microwave and boom, you have a chicken pot pie that you can just easily eat. And I think that's so cool about gas stations where they just have a little microwave to easily like cook it for like 3 minutes and it's just like the best thing you've ever had. But anyways, sadly, we are on our last two gas stations. And this next gas station here, whoops, we have another commercial here. This next restaurant is one that a lot of y'all might not know. I feel like this one isn't that rare, but it's medium rare. Welcome to Gulf. Now, here's the thing about Gulf, according to Addie Bowley. They a lot of Gulfs in his area. He has like 3 of them that he went to. One of them that he went to, they kicked him out for filming. Now, here's the thing about filming YouTube videos. Sometimes people don't like when you're filming in their store because it's private violations. They don't want their faces to be on YouTube and everything. But for gas stations, they're just like a little tiny room, and you can like record all the different things, all the different snacks if you're doing like a midnight gas station video. But I don't see the reason to kick you out. Like, there's usually not a lot of people, especially at night, who go to gas stations. Why be so strict about it for kicking them out for filming? Like, is a specific camera that they don't like, or are they just really strict about having people film? And he had to go all the way to a different Gulf because they kicked him out. And he hates that. And I'm like, bro, is it just Gulf? Because I feel like all the other gas stations, they're cool about it. You walk in, you film, and you maybe have to ask their permission to be on your YouTube video, to be on camera. But like, Gulf, especially in this video, so strict about camera violations. And I'm like, dude, why can't we just film? Like, we're only going to be filming for a few seconds. Like, especially if you're doing editing, you can do like a 30-second shot, pause it, be in another location, 30-second shot, pause it, another 30-second spot, and there's like barely anybody there to be on camera. So I don't know if it's just golf, but I feel like that one, it's just weird. Other thing about golf, what's really interesting, I feel like the gas prices there are either going to be rocket high or really down low cheap. Now, there's a couple other gas stations that I've seen in the Tonio Guajardo videos that I don't have time to mention. But what's interesting is that sometimes the prices can be really high. And I remember seeing a Gulf, and not gonna lie, I I think I saw a Gulf in Pittsburgh one time. And I don't remember if I'm wrong. I could be totally wrong. But for some reason, I remember the gas pricing being $7. That is way too expensive for gas. Like, the cheapest gas is like $2 to $3, maybe $4. But $7 for gas, especially maybe at golf. Now that's just outrageous. Like, come on, gas prices going up, like, what the heck? It should be like $3 for gas. Like, what if people like drive far away to like see their grandparents or something? They're gonna need a lot of stops for gas. And especially for these two families that I follow, Dude Perfect and the Collinsworth family, who is a Christian singers. They go all around the world on their tour bus. And those tour buses do not have good mileage. Their mileage sucks. And they need a lot of gas mileage to be able to, go all around the world to get to the States on time for their midnight tour or for their 7 o'clock tour. And there's no way you should be paying $7 every time you go around tour to different world spots for gas. Because you go to Kansas, you go to Texas, you go to New York, you go to PA, you go to Alabama, you go to South Carolina. All those stops are different, farther places from each other. And especially if you're going really, really far, you need money to pay for gas. And pretty soon, at the end of your like 32-week tour or whatever, for the Collinsworths, that's pretty impressive. You spent like $3,000 on gas, and that's just not right. So I don't know why. I feel like seeing that video that Gulf has really skyrocketing prices, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just Addie Bowley. I'm not sure. But moving on to our last gas station, which in my opinion, you guys are gonna be so mad when I say this, but in my opinion, this gas station, I think, is the absolute worst gas station in all the gas station chains. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I present to you the gas station Mobile. Now you may be thinking, Robbie, why do you dislike Mobile? And I'll tell you why. The Mobile in my town that I live in, I'm not going to say where I live or my address or anything because people are going to steal my IP and everything. But what I don't like about Mobile is the Mobile that I go to, and I feel like I've gone to many other Mobile. Maybe there's a Mobile in closer in like the city area of my town, but they're always so dang small. And I walk in and I'm like, there's like one shelf full of snacks right here in the middle. There's a shelf here with some snacks. There's a shelf here with one snack. There's a row of refrigerators, and that's it. It's so tiny. And then there's like a little cash register where you can pay, and there's like no space to walk into. And I feel like Mobile, especially the smaller Mobiles, I don't know if there's like bigger ones, don't have bathrooms. I mean, again, if you're on a trip and everything, and you have to do business. I'm not going to go too far into that, but if you have to do your business, it's, there's no bathroom. And you have to like wait another 20 minutes until you get to another gas station like Shell or something. They're so small. They don't have any options. The drink options suck. The only food you get are like classic things like Doritos and Cheez-Its and gummy bears and stuff. You don't get any of the cool stuff that are like discontinued or like limited edition food products or YouTuber products or rare snacks that you've never seen but you've always wanted to try because lots of people like them. Like, what the heck? Like, there's, like, mine is so small. And what's funny about it is that there's a 7-Eleven right next to it. And that's medium size. It's, but that mobile is so small. I don't know why, but I feel like every single mobile, it could just be me, every single mobile I go to is freaking small. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. But anyways, those are all the gas stations I have for you. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast video. I had a lot of fun making this, and as I said, Monday and Wednesdays will be videos for Random Robbie. The next week will be a podcast on Monday and Wednesday, and then back to Random Robbie and so forth. And for my Christian channel, Random Robbie Rejoices, new videos on Saturday and new videos on Sunday. So again, I hope you enjoyed the podcast. And you may be wondering as I end this video, Robbie, why are you recording on a Tuesday? Well, guess what? I didn't have school Tuesday, and neither did any of y'all who are still in school. Because it was the superintendent's day. Maybe it was from the snow, but mostly the superintendent's day where the teachers came in and not the kids. But I didn't have time. I was doing stuff. I was busy. And I usually do it on school days after school anyways. And my parents were at home, and I usually try to film when they're not at home because I don't want to like interrupt them with like my loud "oh yeah" and everything if like I'm reacting to a video or something. So that's why I'm recording on a Tuesday. But anyways, the first podcast of the Breakfast Table, it seemed to go extremely well. I hope you guys enjoyed. Breakfast Table, what a phenomenal name. Thank you, Liam Duel, for helping me decide the nickname. And of course, if you have an idea, let me know. Liam, thank you for the gas stations video idea. He did give me another idea out of a different list that I put on like a Google document for Wednesday's video. So, actually, wait. I'm stupid. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and I'm filming this on Tuesday, which means you're gonna get back-to-back podcasts, baby. Man, I forgot about that. And I'm completely cool with that. So, podcast coming tomorrow, podcast today, you get to see. Again, thank you so much for supporting the Random Robbie channel. 57.8 subscribers. Thank you for that. Our next goal is to get to 100 by this summer. So guys, if you can get me to 100 subscribers before summer, that would be great. I only have 14 subscribers on the Christian channel, so to get that to 50 subscribers, 100 subscribers, that would be great. But if it stays low, I understand because a lot of y'all might not be Christians. And support the podcast channel by watching every single week. And basically that's enough for me. But just before I end this video, I know I shouldn't be talking that much for a podcast video. I guess podcasts are kind of like a lot of like talking and everything. But anyways, Liam, thank you again for the gas station video. Really, really appreciate it. And the other idea from Liam will be coming tomorrow, so you'll get to see that. Maybe think about it. Wonder what it was. I'm gonna have a great time recording it. I know where it was. I already know what it is. It's gonna be a dinger. And next week, if anyone has ideas, you can't. I have a few more people on a wait list right now to give me video ideas, but I will let you know in future podcasts when it will be your turn. But again, if you have a podcast idea, I wouldn't recommend letting me know in the comments right now. If you can, I don't even know if you can comment on podcasts, but let me know. Email me again, supermariogamer83@gmail.com. Let me know if you have any ideas. But we do have a video idea from Liam also for tomorrow's podcast on Wednesday. And then I also have my friend Kyle, who goes to my Bible study and leads it and everything. I'm going to be emailing him to see if he has any video ideas from the choices that I have written down in my Google document. And then you guys can be up next getting some podcast videos. And I'm going to try my goal is to make lots of podcast videos, lots of Random Robbie videos, lots of Random Robbie Rejoices videos, so that when I'm old, I can go back, rewatch them, and see, oh my gosh, that was freaking incredible when I was 15 years old. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Really, thank you guys for all the supporters who support me, and I will see you in the next one. So, as I was about to do the Random Robbie outro. Wow, that was stupid. Anyways, I haven't figured out for an outro yet. I don't know if I want to do an outro for the breakfast. Oh, wait, I got one. So, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the podcast video today, and I will see you in the next. Uh, I will see you in the next. I'm so bad at this. I will see you in the next Breakfast Table episode, and I will see you in episode 2. Peace.